Okay, so good evening, everyone. Like I said in the last class that we were discussing about the dynamic initialization and static initialization. And also according to that, I have given you a homework to write a small program which involves the dynamic initialization and the static initialization. Now, since from your end, I did not receive any response, so I guess that there is no doubts in that. Okay, now today the thing that I am going to showcase is that there are a couple of things. Firstly, the utility of the system out print and system out print ln. Okay, these are the two things we are going to discuss practically. The second thing that we are going to discuss the second thing that we are going to discuss is that how for each and every data type, I repeat, for each and every data type we are going to dynamically accept a value from the user. Okay, that is the dynamic initialization of all the variables of different data types. Okay, this is the second thing we are going to discuss, and the third thing we are going to discuss is that certain rules and the regulations which are need to be followed while naming a variable. Okay, so these are the three couple of topics that we are going to discuss today. You just have received a study material in the WhatsApp group I have already given, so it will take a longer time to complete this chapter because this is a very big chapter and important chapter. So I have given you the study materials beforehand, so you all can study whenever you get time. Okay, so now proceeding with the practical part, that is in the last question, as I have said, that we have discussed the different types of initialization and the declare. Firstly, the differences between the declaration and the initialization, and then we also discussed about the different types of initialization. First one was static initialization, and the second thing was dynamic initialization. So today what we are going to do is that since our majority of the program from now onwards, whatever program we are going to do, majority of the program requires the dynamic initialization. Okay, that is most of the values are to be taken from the user. So what we will do today, I am going to discuss about all the data types, and with respect to the data types, I will show you that how dynamically for each and every data type we are going to accept the value from the user. Okay, everything will be dealt with the dynamic initialization. Obviously, there will be some exceptional cases where we will be using some constant value. So that is completely different concept. Okay, along with that, I will also discuss about the differences between system out print and system out println. So these are the couple of topics that we are going to discuss in terms of the practical today. So today I'm going to do what? I'm going to create a completely new class. Okay, so I'm giving it as a name demo 2. Okay, so as you can see, my class has been created successfully. Please follow the practical so that whenever you come back to the school, it's easier for you to perform the practical as well. Okay, once I double click, so this is your source editor window where you are going to write the source code, that is basically your program. Okay, so what I will do is that firstly I will show you one thing which I did not discuss in the last class, that is I have shown you this kind of example which are known as single line comment. So today I am going to show you an example of multi-line comment. Okay, so in the multi-line comment, it starts with /star. Okay, it starts with /star and it ends with */. Now whenever it is a multi-line comment, always remember it does not it not only controls the single line comment, but also it is by default control the multi-line comment as well. Okay, so both the things are controllable with the help of this multi-line comment. So since I am using the multi-line comment, so I will show you a demo how the multi-line comment is here. So suppose I am writing the question before starting of the program. Write a program. Okay, now see, I'm going to press enter. Okay, to enter values of variable in all data types dynamically. Okay. So since now see, because this is the multi-line comment, your starting and the ending, this border line is in the different line. Now imagine if I have to use the single line comment, then I have to use this. Now when I use the double slash, now you can see that only one line is disabled, other line is not. For that I have to use another double line comment to show that these are two different lines. So not to make it easy, and since this is a part of the entire comment, so that is why I am using a multi-line comment, so that you can understand that this is basically the multi-line comment. I would request everyone to
Sir,
please switch on your mute button. Yes.
sir, we can use a double line comment for writing single line comment.
Yes, we can use the multi-line comment to write the single line comment. For that example, since you have asked, I will show you. For example, let's say I am using a multi-line comment out here. Okay. This is a demo program. Done. Now see, this is written in
Yes.
one line. This is written in one line, so you can use the multi-line symbols to write a single line statement also. Okay, so this is basically the differences between the multi-line comment and the single line comment. Now, as I said, that we are going to discuss about the initialization of the values for every data type. Okay, so obviously I need the main statement. Always remember, the purpose of the public static void main is that this is the indication for the compiler to understand from where the compilation starts. I would request everyone to switch on your mute button, otherwise it's creating a sound. Okay, so now as you can see, I have already mentioned the main statement. Now I also discussed in the last class that is, whenever we are accepting the value dynamically from the user, that is the time when we have to mention the package name, because we are using certain function in the program. So in this case, what is the package name that we are using? We are using import java dot util dot star star semicolon. Okay, this package name need to be mentioned whenever we are using the concept of dynamic initialization. I can write it here, dynamic initialization. Okay, so now proceeding with the program. Now there are so many different data types that we have discussed in the last class. So we'll start with first we'll start with, let's say, the shortest of all, the byte. Byte is the shortest of all data type. Okay, so byte A is the variable that I am taking. Okay, then the second is the second smallest is the short B. Then I will take equivalent to this. If I go with the increasing order, after short comes the character C. Okay, then comes integer D. Okay, after integer comes float E, then comes long F, then comes double D. These are basically all the number oriented data types. Okay, in the middle you will see the character type. Okay, now the another part is that,
Sir, you have used D twice.
okay, thank you G. Chalo. Okay, and the next is we have string F. Acha, S. Chalo. Okay. Now, as you all know, that byte, short, integer, float, long, all these are numerical oriented data types, so only values can be taken. Now when we have to take any single character, for that we are using the character data type, that is char. Next come is the string. Now for string purpose, you have to understand that strings are basically used for the multiple values with that is to be written in the double quotation. So basically the definition of the string, if we like to discuss, it is collection of character. Collection of character. That means multiple
Excuse
character
me, sir.
type. Yes,
So string S will be in capital letter or small?
capital letter.
Oh,
Okay. That is what. Whatever I am writing, just follow up that. Okay. Now, string data type can be defined as collection of character. That means multiple character type values when combined together. I repeat, multiple character type values when combined together, they form the string. If you remember the example of the string I have discussed in the last class, those are written in single quotation. Then you have another single quotation value 1. Okay, then you have single quotation value, let's say some semicolon, some kind of symbol. So only one digit or one letter can be taken within the single quotation. Okay, but if it is of string type, then you can take multiple characters combinedly together. That is alphanumeric string you can develop, but that is to be written in the double quotation. That is, for example, say I'm using the previous one, a, then 1, then semicolon, then this entirely becomes the string value. Okay, so that is why the string data type can be defined as collection of character. That is, multiple character values can be collected together into one unit, and that is why this is known as string value. Okay, now the thing that I prefer most is that always when we are dynamically taking any value from the variable, always give a printing statement so that in the output screen you can understand what value you are actually taking. So first the pattern follows like this: give a printing statement, accept the value, then print the value. Okay, this is the three basic steps. Okay, so now what I will do, initially I will take all the print statement. Okay, I will not take any print ln statement. So system dot out dot print. Okay, I have taken in one place. Now firstly I have to take the value of a, so I will mention enter the short value of a. Okay, and semicolon. I have given a printing statement with respect to the variable a. Okay, now before introducing the input statement, always remember every util package need to create a scanner class. So first the scanner class, scanner, always remember the scanner class need to be written only once in the entire program. Okay, so scanner sc is equal to new scanner system dot in semicolon. Okay, so I have created the scanner class because this scanner class need to be created so that the input statement can be written. Otherwise the compiler will not understand the importance of the input statement. So now I will write the input statement. For input, for the input statement that we have to write for the byte value is something like this: a is equal to sc dot next byte. This is the input statement for byte value. Okay, so for this we will continue for the other data types as well in the same pattern. So I'm just copy pasting to avoid the time. So the first one is, sorry, this is not a short, this will be byte value, byte. Okay, byte value. Next come is the short value, that is b. Okay, oh, another part that I will do is that I will give a printing statement so that the value has been successfully entered or not. So I will check that. So I will put a system out print, system out print. Okay, so what I will do, the value of A is plus the variable. Okay, so this is basically my printing statement for A. So I'll put some graphs in the middle so that it is understood which part is what. Okay, now for the same thing I will do for the value of B. So I'll copy paste it out here. And I'll just change B is equal to, B is short data type. So capital SHORT, short, and value of B is to be printed. So every time you see that after the next statement, corresponding data type is only being written. Only the difference is that in the data type, we used to write in small letter everything. But in this case, we have to start our first character with a capital letter. Okay. Then again, we will write for C. Okay. So I'll copy this entire thing. Okay. Here we have short value also. Okay. So I'll copy this entire part. Okay. After the short is the character value. So see, for the character there is certain amount of the changes. Okay. So what is that change is all about? This change is that character does not have anything predefined sc.next character inside the Java compiler. So there is a slight change. What is that change? Remember, it is to be written in this way. C is equal to str, or rather say sc dot next bracket dot char at 0 semicolon. This is meant for taking character value inside the Java program. I repeat, see the statement. It is not as usual for the other values like next byte, next short. For the here, it is sc.next bracket dot char at the position 0. Yes, 0 is compulsory. The question is 0 is compulsory. Why? That will be discussed a lot more later once you start with the concept of string chapter, which is to be taught in the later class. For now, you just learn it as a syntax. Okay, so this is meant for the character value. So the character value has to be printed in this fashion. Okay, next, what do we have after the character? We have integer. Integer you all know very well. Okay, so I'll copy this. Okay, so this become integer, so integer. Okay, this becomes d. Okay, d is equal to, it will be as usual, next int bracket, and we will print the value of d. Okay, again, okay, since we have done couple of this, float, you all know, we have discussed in the last class, float, long, and the double. Okay, so for the time being, I'll just stop this and I'll show you the string type, how to do. Okay, so for the string, system out print, enter the string value for s. Okay, s is equal to sc dot just next. Okay, and then you have the printing statement, system out print value of s is plus s. Okay, so this is how we take the string value with a semicolon, and thus we conclude the program. Now this is basically what I was trying to show you, that these are the different process for each and every data type. The thing is that the conventional confusion comes once you started taking for the wide, for the short, for the integer, for the long, but the character as well as for the string, these are slightly different. Now if I compile it, okay, no syntax error, now I'll show you the differences. Okay, so if I run the program, enter the wide value. Remember, in all the printing statement, what we have done, we have just taken system out print. So basically my entire output or every printing statement, everything, every value, it is supposed to come within the single line. So let's say byte value, so I'll take a single digit value, say 2. Okay, so 2 has been entered. Okay, so the value of a is 2. Okay, these output once appear, the very next printing statement is coming beside here, enter the short value of b. Okay, so let's take some couple of values, 56. Okay, the moment we enter 56, see the value of b is 56. The next printing statement is also coming side by side. So every printing statement is coming side by side. Only the difference is that the first line, why this is happened, because this is only the value taken from the user, and when you press the enter, due to pressing the enter, the cursor is changing its position. Due to the change of the position of the cursor, that is why your first printing statement is coming in the next line. But from next onwards, if you see, as long as you are taking the value, the compiler is reading that it is print statement, it is not println statement. So that is why all the printing statement are coming beside, side by side. Okay, now C, for C we are supposed to take a character value, let's say small b. Okay, now again I press and enter, again the line is coming into the same integer value, so let's say 7894. Okay, now for the value of the string, now string, as I said, it is a collection of character. Now for the string, if you take a b c d, 1 2 3 4, and then a b c d, see there is a uppercase, there is a lowercase, there is a number. Also for your benefit, I am taking some symbols also. Now if I press enter, see, for string all the values has been taken, but if it was a character, then each of this alphabet or the number would have been treated as a character value. Okay, because the limitation of the character is that it can take only single digit or a letter or a symbol, only single, because for the character the values to be taken in a single quotation, but for the string it is taken within the double quotation. Okay, so always remember, for the double quotation it is the representation of a string data type, and for string you can take multiple character values together. This is the advantage of the string. Okay, now to make you understand the difference, now see, all the printing statement have print statement, system out dot print. Okay, so without erasing it, to show you the difference of the output, what I will do, I will go back to the program and I will make some modification. Okay, now what is that modification? The first modification that I will do is that I will just add ln beside every print. Okay, ln. Okay, I'll just add ln beside every printing statement. Okay, to show you the difference of the output. Okay, now let's see the output. Okay, every time remember, in the Java program, if you make any changes in the program, you need to compile it, only then you will get to see the fresh output. Okay, now see, it is said enter the value of a, so I'll enter the value of a, let's say 3. Now see, 3 has been entered in the next line. Okay, 3 has been entered in the next line. Okay, the next printing statement is again coming in the next line. Enter the short value of B. Okay, for short value I am taking, let's say, 36. Okay, so 36 is entered in the next line. Okay, and the printing is happening in the same line. So what I am trying to show you is the difference is that ln represent what? Listen very carefully. Ln, when you are entering ln beside the statement, it means first the cursor, first the compiler will print this entire value. Listen very carefully. First the compiler will print this entire statement. Okay, and then the position will of the cursor will go to the new line and wait for the new printing. Okay, out here what happened, here you are printing the value along with the statement all together. Okay, that is why the value of a is the value of the a is automatically getting printed. If I show you the output window, then you can understand better way. Okay, now if I show you, okay, now if you see this very carefully, system out print ln. Okay, and in the bracket it is written enter the uh, you know the byte value of a. Okay, so that is why you have this printing statement, enter the byte value of a in one line. Okay, now once this statement is printed, what happened, ln is moving the cursor into the next line because your user input statement is completely in a different line. Your user input statement is completely in the different line. So that is why when you are taking 3, the 3 is getting printed in a different line. Okay, then after you take the value of 3 from the user, the cursor is blinking here. The moment system out print line, the next printing statement is executed, the cursor move into the next line, and then you have this printing statement, the value of a is. Okay, so this you have to understand that your ln statement is doing what, it is first printing whatever things are there in the system out print state printed part. Okay, and then it changes the cursor position into the next part in the next line so that the next execution can happen. Okay, but in the printing part what happened, in the printing part it was not happening like way. Whatever you are taking the value, it is getting printed in the same line, and as well as the next line is also executed. The cursor is not changing the position. If you see in the previous output, out here when you print the first value of a, the cursor was not changing the position because for the next printing statement it was written system out print, not println. So that is why your next printing is also happening in the same line. Once you entered 56 and you press enter, then what happened, again the next printing statement is also coming in the next line because you are pressing the enter, that is why the cursor is moving. So there is two ways of movement of the cursor. One is for the ln. Okay, and what happened in the ln, in the ln part, first whatever things you are writing in the bracket is getting executed, then cursor is changing the position. Okay, but if you don't put ln statement, okay, then what it is happening, the cursor is not changing the position, the cursor is continuing in the same line. If we see here, enter the character value, so I'm taking 5. Okay, now see, the 5 has been entered into the different line, as well as the value of the 5, this entire output is also printed in the separate line, because to take the value it was ln statement used, and to print the result also ln statement was used. So your input is also happening in a different line and your output is also coming in each and every different line. So this is the difference between ln statement. Next is the integer value, let's say 36 365. See, 365 also coming in a different line and the output is also coming in a different line. If you take the string value, let's say Jishu. Okay, see, the Jishu, it is coming in a single line, and this is means this entire printing statement, the result statement is coming in a different line, and your input is also coming in the different line. So the matter of fact is that what I am trying to tell you is that if I show you the program, basically you have to understand that whatever is your next line, okay, whatever will be your next line, that next line execution is depending upon the cursor position. So first way, if I show you the dry run, how to understand the line, the first thing is that first the compiler will print enter the byte value of a, compiler ये print कर लिया, उसके बाद compiler see that ln statement is there, ln matlab next line, so the cursor position will be not beside a, the cursor will move to the next line, ठीक है. In the next line the compiler is reading that value of a is to be taken, so compiler a value liya, okay, then your printing says that the value of a is to be printed and it is preceded by a, ln. So that means what, when you take the value of a and you press enter, the next line is getting printed, okay. So every line you have to understand the purpose and the differences between the ln and the without the means it, you have to understand the system out print and system out print ln. The differences come here that every time the ln part is working after the printing statement, not before the printing statement, okay. So after the printing statement, the cursor will see, if it is without ln, the cursor will remain in the same position, if it is with ln, the cursor will move to the next position every time, okay. In the same case also here, if you see, the cursor has printed here, ये पूरा print हो गया, the cursor is blinking, now the cursor see, the compiler see it is ln written, so cursor will move to the next line, the cursor will move to the next line. Now in the next line what you see, enter the short value of a, so in the next line you will see that the short value of a has been printed. So this you have to understand the difference between the ln, the system out print ln and the system out print. So basically what I was trying to show you is that the materials of dynamic initialization for all the data type. For byte, sc dot next byte, b to be in the capital letter, I am just writing here for your understanding, okay. Here you will use next byte, okay. For short you will use next short, okay. For character, you remember, as I said, it will be sc dot next bracket dot char at 0, okay. This is for the character data type. For this you have next int, for this you have next next float, for this you have next long, and for double you have next double, and then for the string it's only next, it's only next. So these are the various functions that you have to remember when you are dynamically taking the value for a variable from the user, okay. Now today, as we have seen the differences between system out print ln and the system out print, and also the various data types in at the various function by which you can take the values from the user dynamically for each and every data type. Now in the next exercise, what we will do is that we will slowly see how to prepare the expression, mathematical expression with respect to the Java programming, which you have done theoretically in the classes. That is any mathematical expression that are to be written with the form of Java language to make the compiler understand. And also we will discuss that what are the different forms of the operators, different types of the operators. So types of operators and forming a Java expression will be discussed in the next class. Okay, thank you very much.